Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Bianca if you are new, and today we are going to be doing the mid-year book freakout tag. I cannot believe that it is already June. No, it's almost July because I'm filming this late. Today is the last day of June. The year is already half over and it seems mind-boggling. But I've had a pretty good reading year so far. I've read 44 books. I don't know if that's more than I read last year by this time. I know I had a really great reading month in June the year before. But the last few months it's just been really hard to pick up a book and finish it. I've picked up a lot. I've started a lot. I have just not finished any of them. So it's been a little challenging, but let's get into the mid-year book freakout tag. So, question number 1. Best book you've read so far in 2002. I had this book. It was a 5-star prediction, even though I did not make a video for that. I do consider this one a 5-star prediction. It was my most anticipated release for this year, and that is In Every Generation by Kendara Blake. This is a kind of continuation to the Buffy the Vampire Slayer series. This follows Willow's daughter Frankie, who is a witch, and something happens at a Slayer convention where everybody gathers and they talk and hang out and relax, and she's the new Slayer. So she's struggling being a witch and a Slayer because those are two kind of competing personality types for her. And she has a new Scooby gang, including the sister of Vi, who was one of the potentials from the last season of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and Oz's nephew Jordy, who is the one who bit him after making him become a werewolf. So that's fun. And Spike comes back, Willow is back, Xander is back, Dawn makes an appearance, Oz is there. It's so much fun. There's a new Sunnydale High, new Sunnydale, still a Hellmouth, but so much fun. Definitely gave this 5 stars, probably mostly for the nostalgic vibes, but I definitely loved this, and I do recommend it if you love Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Question number 2, best sequel you've read so far. I have not read a lot of sequels. I read most of the Bridgerton series, and I picked up a new cozy mystery, and I've read a couple books in that series. So those are really the only sequels I read this year. But this is the 3rd book. But I started the Oxford Magic Kitten mysteries, and these are on Kindle Unlimited. They are so much fun. These are cozy paranormal mysteries about a witch who opens a shelter for demonic familiars, and she's trying to find them their forever homes. But on the day she opens, the inspector witch that comes to inspect her shelter blows up, and it snowballs from there. It's so much fun. And there's this cute little black kitten who is her familiar, and his name is Satan, and she made him when she was 5, so he spits out love hearts, like the candy, with sayings on them, so insults and whatnot is written on the love hearts, and it's just so cute, and it smells like cotton candy apparently. So I do recommend that. And I also started Bridgerton. I jumped on the bandwagon. I loved it. This is the first one, but there's also The Viscount Who Loved Me, Romancing Mr. Bridgerton, which I think is my favorite, and all the other ones. So I recommend those too. Question number 3, a new release you haven't read yet but want to. I have a couple on this list. The first one would have to be The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea by Axie O. I've heard amazing things. This cover is gorgeous. This is my Fairy Loot edition. I will show that more later. This follows a girl whose brother, a girl whose town is being like, I don't want to say attacked, but just a lot of storms have been hitting her small town, and to get relief, they sacrifice their most beautiful girls to the sea god. And when her brother's love ends up becoming one of those girls, she throws herself to the sea instead of letting her brother suffer the heartbreak of losing the girl he loves. So that's just the gist. That's the beginning. She spends time in the world of the sea god, and there's romance and action, and I cannot wait to pick this up. Another one that I can't wait to pick up is Four Aunties and a Wedding by Jessie Q. Sutanto. This is the sequel to Dial A for Aunties. I read Dial A for Aunties in like February and loved it, so I definitely want to pick this up. This follows Madeline, who is a photographer for her family's wedding planning business, and in the first book she is set up on a blind date by her mother, and she ends up accidentally killing her date, and then her aunts get into it along with her mother, and it just becomes chaos, and the body accidentally gets shipped to the wedding that they're planning, where the hotel where the wedding is shipped at is owned by her ex-boyfriend, who is the one that got away. So I think you can find out what happens in this one, but I cannot wait to pick this up. And then we have A Magic Steeped in Poison by Judy I. Lin. This one, also beautiful cover, follows a girl who I believe like accidentally poisoned her mother and kills her, and then her sister also ends up getting poisoned, so she joins a competition with the hopes of getting access to, like, I think the royal healer or something, in hopes of finding a way to heal her sister. But there's also romance in this, and very much look forward to picking this up. It was on my most anticipated releases for the year, so look forward to that. Number 4, most anticipated release for the second half of the year. I have a couple for this one. The first one I have is How to Survive Your Murder. This comes out August 30th, and it is about a girl who is the only witness to her sister's murder. She was murdered in like a corn maze or something on Halloween, and a year later, after her life has fallen apart, her parents have gotten divorced, she's forced to live in an apartment that smells. She has to attend the trial of the guy that she says killed her sister, and nobody in the jury believes that she saw what she saw. So she is apparently knocked out in the bathroom of the courthouse by somebody who looks like Sidney Prescott, and she wakes up a year earlier, and she has until midnight to save her sister. The gist sounds awesome. Cannot wait to get this. Sounds amazing. The next book I'm looking forward to is Saint by Adrienne Young, and this is set to come out November 29th. This is set in the Fable universe and actually follows Fable's father. Now, Fable is a duology, and it follows Fable, whose mother dies, and her father like abandons her on this island and gives her the motivation, saying, if you can get yourself off this island and find me, you can join my crew. So she spends years trying to get off this island, and she finally does. She finds her father. Things happen. She discovers secrets about her mother in the second book and about herself. So I think it'll be really interesting to see the man behind Saint and what made him into the man, and how he met Fable's mother and things like that. I think it'll be very interesting, so I can't wait for that to come out. And another book that I have is The Final Gambit by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and this is set to come out August 30th, and this is the third and final book in the Inheritance Games trilogy, I guess, yeah. And this follows a girl who is left millions or billions by this mysterious man she's never met. He just picked her randomly and gave her money, and she has to contend with his family. This book is usually compared to Knives Out, and I can honestly say it really does have Knives Out vibes. I loved it. and I loved the sequel, which is the Hawthorne Legacy, so I definitely recommend those two, and cannot wait for the final Gambit to come out. And the final one I have is Kingdom of the Feared by Carrie Maniscalco. This is the third and I believe final book in the Kingdom of the Wicked series, which follows two sisters, Amelia and Victoria, I believe, and Victoria is unfortunately murdered, and Amelia summons a demon or prince of hell to help her solve her sister's murder. So those are good. I've only read Kingdom of the Wicked. I have not read Kingdom of the Cursed yet, but it is definitely on my radar, and I do want to pick it up to read it before Kingdom of the Feared comes out, which I have already pre-ordered. So those are just a few books that I'm looking forward to for the second half of the year. Number 5, biggest disappointment. I've had a pretty good run with picking up books that interest me. I have had trouble finishing some, but the only book I could think of that was a disappointment was Unchosen by Catherine Blair. This was on my most anticipated and my top 21 books to read in 2021. And I wasn't interested when I picked it up. Hopefully I can go back. It was a cover buy, so I really can't blame myself. I really can only blame myself. But this follows a girl who has a crush on her best friend, and he ends up dating her older sister, and then, you know, a virus breaks out that turns people into zombies, but these are like really fast moving zombies with super strength. But this virus is spread by eye contact, and it turns out that her sister is the chosen one. So Unchosen is the anti-chosen one trope, I guess you could say. So she ends up turning herself in to save her sister, and things happen. I think there are pirates or something in this. It had a lot of things that interested me, but when I started it, I wasn't interested. I wasn't drawn in. Granted, I think I only got like 20 pages in, so I should probably keep reading, but maybe it just wasn't the time. So we're gonna try again later. Number 6, the biggest surprise. I have to say that my biggest surprise I did not want to pick up. I was like, I'm not going to join the hype. I'm not going to get sucked into it. I got sucked into it. Bridgerton, The Duke and I love historical romance. That's not the surprise. I just didn't expect to love this series as much as I do. I've read the first 7 books in the Bridgerton series, and the only reason I haven't read the 8th one is because I got spoiled and now I don't want to read it. Because I don't like something that happens in it. But I heard about the TV series. I heard all the hype. I did not watch it because I was just like, this isn't something I want to get sucked into. I didn't want to join it just because of the hype. I wanted it to be something I was interested in. So I ended up getting this copy of The Duke and I from a coworker's daughter. And I was like, you know what, since I have it, I'll read it. I think I finished this in one day, and then I spent all of April reading the other 7 books. Just binged them all. And then I binged season 1 and season 2 of Bridgerton, and I cannot wait for season 3. So, biggest surprise, I did not expect to love this series as much as I do. And I really do want to get to book 8 and then continue with the prequels, and then, which I already have, and then read the additional Lady Whistledown books. It's just ridiculous. I don't know. So that was my biggest surprise. I didn't expect to love Bridgerton as much as I did. And I do have a vlog coming out. I'm just editing it, and I've been missing parts, so I have to refilm. But number 7, new fave author, debut or new to you. I have a couple. I don't like to call authors my favorites unless they're kind of like auto buys, because I've read so many of their books that I automatically love them. But I think these are authors that I can say I'm at least gonna get another book by them, because I don't think I've read an author that I can call my favorite definitively yet. One of them is Rosemary A. Johns, who wrote the Oxford Magic Kitten Mysteries. I do love this series. So I am going to continue. I believe she has like 7 or 8 books out in this series alone so far, and she does have a large backlist. So once I finish this series, I might pick up something else of hers. Another one is Kendara Blake, who wrote In Every Generation. I loved this, and I cannot wait until the next one comes out. She does have other books out. She has Anna Dressed in Blood, and she has the sequel to that. Oh, she also wrote the 3 Dark Crowns series and the Goddess War trilogy. So she's got a pretty good backlist. So maybe I'll check out those. I did try to pick up Anna Dressed in Blood 1 month this year, but I didn't get to it. I think it was for Spring Flingaween, and it wasn't that I started it and didn't like it. It was just that I didn't pick it up. So that's another one. The next one would be Sue Lynn Tan, who wrote Daughter of the Moon Goddess. I cannot wait until the sequel to this comes out. It's the part of a duology, and I want the second book so bad, and it's supposed to come out later this year, and I cannot wait. So I'm definitely moving her to my favorites after I read the sequel to this book. 8, newest fictional crush. I don't know that I have a newest fictional crush. I think I'm just gonna pick all the Bridgerton boys, except Gregory, because I haven't read his book yet. But I love me some Anthony, I love me some Benedict, and I love me some Colin. So I'm gonna pick all 3. Oh, and I love me the Duke of Hastings. I'm gonna pick him too. Yeah, I think that's about it. I don't think I've read anything else where I have a crush on him, on a guy, and yeah, I think I'm just gonna pick those. Newest fictional character, number 9. I'm not sure. I don't know that I have a fave newest fictional character. I don't know. I love me some Daphne because I think she's a strong woman. I also love me some Eloise because she's very opinionated and she knows what she wants, and these are Bridgertons. As you can see, most of my reading's been focused on the Bridgerton books. I need to read some more books. I did love Sing Yin from Daughter of the Moon Goddess. I thought she was strong. She knew what she wanted to accomplish, and no matter how much she was kind of deterred from her course, she knew she wanted to learn her magic. She wanted to raise up in the ranks in the royal army so she could meet the emperor and empress and gain a favor from them so that she could free her mother. And that is, I thought that was really brave, and I loved her as a character. Number 10, a book that made you cry. I don't remember any of the books I read this year that made me cry. And normally I'm very emotional, and I've been more emotional these last few months than normal because they've been a little tougher than normal for me. But I can't think of a book that actually made me cry. This might have made me emotional at some points, but I don't remember actually like bawling my eyes out crying, which I normally do. But I can't remember a book that I read this year that has made me cry. So 11, a book that made you happy. For this one, I'm gonna have to go back to the Oxford Magic Kitten Mysteries, because these just make me happy. They make me smile because they're just so cute. I love me some Satan. Never thought I'd say that, but I love me some Kitten Satan. He's just so cute. He's funny, and you have to read these because you have to meet this cat because he's just ridiculous, and I love it. Most beautiful book you bought. I have a few of these. Most of them are both of them are Fairy Loot editions. So we have this copy of Daughter of the Moon Goddess. It is beautiful. It's got the rose gold foiling, beautiful stenciled and sprayed edges, and then it's got beautiful artwork on the hardcover, beautiful spine, gorgeous end pages, and they're different front and back. And then, like all Fairy Loots, it is signed by the author. Then we also have this edition of The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea by Axie O. I have regular editions of both Daughter of the Moon Goddess and this one, and these are gorgeous. So you have these stenciled and sprayed edges on this one, and then the gorgeous foiling on the hardcover. The spine is beautiful. These actually sit facing out on my bookshelf. Gorgeous end pages. Again, they're different front and back. And this one is also signed by the author. So those are just a couple of my most beautiful books. I loved these. I was so excited when I got them, and I can't wait to order my Fairy Loot edition of the sequel to Daughter of the Moon Goddess, because that one is gorgeous too. Then we have number 13, which is the last one. What books do you need to read by the end of the year? I have a video. It is my 22 books to read in 2022, and I think I've only read one. So I have 21 books I need to get to in the second half of the year. Don't know if that's going to happen. I really never finish my 22 books, however many books to read in a year. I don't think I usually get to one, so this year I've done better than the past 2 years, but I can give a couple examples. So, Wicked Fox by Kat Cho, The Secret History by Donna Tartt, House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas, Bone Crier's Moon by Catherine Purdy, These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. Don't know if I'm going to get to that because I don't know that I'm interested anymore, but I have both the Fairy Loots for that one and These Violent Ends, so might as well read it. The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern, Unchosen by Catherine Blair, which I DNF'd, so I could probably cross that off. Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas, Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. I wanted to read that before the sequel came out later this year. The release date got pushed back. I got lucky. Bunny by Moto Awad. Have started it, have not finished it. Will by Will Smith, Daughter of the Deep by Rick Riordan. Also started, have not finished it. Starfish by Kemi Dawn Bowman. Started, haven't finished. Caraval by Stephanie Garber. Read the first 4 chapters, have not finished it. Blood and Honey by Shelby Mulherin. The Wicked King by Holly Black. Haven't even started it. City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. Started it, have not finished it. From Lukov with Love by Mariana Zapata. Haven't done that one either. Shadow of Night by Deborah Harkness. I think I'm 50% of the way through that book. The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller, and The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter by Theodora Goss. I started that one a couple years ago, so I'm going to have to start over, but I think I only read a chapter of it anyway. So, lots of books. I can probably take Unchosen off because I don't think I'm going to pick that up, and I DNF'd it. But as you can see, I got lots of books to read before the end of the year, and I really do want to try and make headway on my top 22 books to read in 2022 because I do kind of want to finish it at least once. So, we'll see how that goes. I'll put the questions down below. I'd love to see your answers in the comments. I love to talk to you guys about books, so please hit me up. Love it. Thanks again to my subscribers. Thank you so much. Love you guys. Ooh, and if you like this video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day or night wherever you are, and don't forget to pick up a good book. Bye.